was brown sugar. So whoever was at the helm of this successfully got the Juneteenth ice cream that would have been at a department store. They successfully got it pulled from the shelves. There was such outcry and hue that they decided to not even roll this product out. It's interesting to me because if you celebrate, let's say, St. Patrick's Day, it's not unusual to have corned beef and cabbage, right? That's part of the celebration. Food is oftentimes introduced as a part of the celebration. You could say Cinco de Mayo, they drink beer and Mexican food, part of the celebration. Juneteenth is a new holiday, so I think it was only celebrated regionally, but now it's a federal holiday, and I guess it'll find its way. I don't personally find an ice cream all that offensive, but you know what? That's up to the people who've decided that they've taken such offense with it that they wanted to put their energy and time into getting something pulled for the shelf. And nor does one person, one man or woman, express the desires and the wishes and the goals of almost 40 million black people. I mean, how can one man or woman speak for a race that got Barack Obama and Flavor Flav? I don't think anybody could do that. I do find it silly that at a time when you're working hard to get ice cream pulled from the shelves, around that very time, over 200 members of the United States Congress decided that they would vote against the domestic terrorism bill. Because one man's act of domestic terrorism is another man's acts of patriotism. Only in America would you have this quandary. If you attack people specifically because of their color, specifically because you don't want them here, you went to their neighborhood specifically to terrorize them, what is that other than terror? I guess you can't be a terrorist if you're a white guy, even though we have a pantheon, we have a litany of terrorists throughout our history. You might call them presidents. You might call them generals. You might call them soldiers. But what they did were acts of terror. So I think now those men, the man who went in there and slaughtered those people in Buffalo are keeping in line with that tradition. And there are some people who won't let it go either. The fact that we have to parse words about what terrorism is, just like we had to parse words about what lynching is, lets you know that they don't think it can be wrong when a white guy does something to black guys. And they do it as an act of terror. A man gets on a bus in Oakland and specifically stabs a girl to death because he was a white supremacist and she was black. Terror. If you go to Squirrel Hill and you shoot people because they're Jews, that's terror. If you go to El Paso and you shoot people because they're Mexican, that's terror. You go to Gilroy and you shoot people because of the color of their skin, that is terror. It shouldn't be that hard to say. Why is it so hard to enshrine that in law? Why is it so hard to say that even white guys can commit terror? That it is just not this brown thing. This bill is to allocate more funds so the Justice Department can, in fact, keep tabs on terrorists. Because that is what you are when you seek to terrorize people because of the color of their skin. Now, ice cream is important, I'm sure. I'm sure that it was a big deal that you used your power and strength and wherewithal to get an ice cream pulled from the shelf. Now, use some of that to get a bill passed to protect people while they're shopping for ice cream that doesn't exist anymore. These fights, I understand, and they're not mutually binary. You can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. You can both be for this and that. But at the very same time, you're getting ice cream pulled from the shelves, which takes a lot. It takes a lot for a corporation who's invested all of this money into a project to pull it out because they don't want to hear the outcry. Imagine that energy when those 200 people decided that our lives weren't worth trying to make sure they were protected. This is not a special thing. These men and women are going on these websites, deciding to weaponize and attacking people because of who they are and the way they were born. I don't know. I don't care anything about the ice cream. It might have been delicious. I don't know. But I'm intolerant. I'm lactose intolerant. But this country has a high tolerance for brutality against black and brown people. Ice cream is good, but making sure that this stops is better. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.